first base coach. As this one is lashed to third. Lewis with the catch, the throw onto the bag, and the Hagerstown Braves have done it.
It's a series steeped in tradition as two of the South Penn League's Blue Bloods do battle. The team of the 80s takes on the team of the 10s. Whose time is it now? We're set to find out here on Flea Flicker Media's coverage of the South Penn League playoffs. Bringing you a little semifinal action here today from Memorial Field in Littlestown, once the proud home of the Littlestown Thunderbolts. Now the Dodgers call it home during the summer months, as they have for quite a while. Over the last few years, you've been involved in the rivalry when Hagerstown and Cashtown meet in the postseason. It's easy to forget about that other rivalry, the one that goes back 50 plus years. Part of the reason that Littlestown and Cashtown haven't gotten as much ink lately is because it seems one of these teams is always in a dominant stretch in this series. In the 80s, it was unbeatable Littlestown capturing 12 straight South Penn League titles, 8 of them over Cashtown. The 90s ushered in a down era for both these programs, even leading to the folding of Cashtown for a while. But Cashtown came back with a vengeance, and the worm turned. Cashtown has won 6 titles since 2011. Littlestown still looking for that first one in the last 31 years. During the last 8 years, Cashtown has won 7 of the last 8 season series in all 3 postseason battles. Littlestown swept the season series between these two teams last year, and they had an epic 3-game confrontation in the regular season this year. Cashtown ultimately won 2 of those 3 games, but throw all that out the window as we come in here today. Got some nice cloud cover here at Memorial Field in Littlestown, and Dave Klunk and Eric Ketterman out to the home plate area to give the lineups to the home plate umpire and the base umpire there, and we've got the lineups for you here too, so we'll go over them. The visiting at Cashtown Pirates will bat first, so we'll go over their batting order. First thing, Travis Black leads things off. He's the designated hitter for Cashtown. Aiden Julich playing in right field. He bats second. Chase King, the center fielder, bats third. Chris Shackle, 2-time MVP of the South Penn League, bats cleanup and plays left field. Wes Coolball, who was the closing pitcher hero in the decisive Game 3 on Sunday against Frederick, he plays shortstop and bats fifth. Zach Coons, former Fairfield quarterback, plays second base and bats sixth. Ethan Ketterman, the third baseman, batting at seventh. Robert Rohrball playing first base, which we saw him do Sunday against Frederick. He'll bat eighth, and J.C. Collins once again catching and rounding out the order. The pitcher for Cashtown is former Littlestown Thunderbolt football standout Colby Hahn. He played on this field right here as a Thunderbolt a good number of years ago. He'll now get the ball here in game number 1 of this series against his hometown team, pitching for the Cashtown Pirates now. We'll take a break here for a moment. We'll be back on the other side of these commercial messages with the starting lineups for the Littlestown Thunderbolts defense. Back in a moment.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back here live at Memorial Field as the Littlestown Dodgers prepare their pregame pep talk, and so do the Cashtown Pirates across the way. We'll take you first on the field here with the Littlestown Dodgers in a moment as they prepare to defend the home field. It was a sweep in the quarterfinals for them over Brushtown by a combined score of 27-2. Every player in the lineup that started a game hit at least 300 in the series, and every single starting spot in both games had at least one base hit. Led by Jake Saylor, who was 4 for 6 with 8 runs batted in the 2-game sweep over Brushtown. Little step up in competition here for Littlestown as they take on the number 3 seed Cashtown and the team that's won 5 of the last 7 South Penn titles. It's been Littlestown, a proud tradition, a competitive team that makes it deep into the playoffs every year for the last few decades. They're looking to push it over the finish line this year. And here is the unit that they'll go with as they're about ready to go on the field. We're a little late getting started here today as it seems like a little extra preparations going forth here with this big rivalry game taking place here today. And here come the Dodgers as they take the field behind starter Justin Gladhill. Take a look at their defensive alignment. It's Sam Wirtz at first base. Over at second, and the defensive wizard Brandon Nail. The shortstop for the Dodgers is Trent Copenhaver. Over at third base, Clint Roche. The outfield from left to right for the Dodgers looks like this. It's Justin Keith, the player manager, in left field. In center, well, that'll be Ben Stevens, speedy and quick. And over in right field, that's Jacob Cromer. We'll take a look at the battery here as behind the plate, it's Jake Saylor, who is certainly going to get some votes for league MVP this season with his .476 regular year batting average, helping lead the way for the Dodgers to just have 4 losses this season to this point. And Justin Gladhill on the hill. Gladhill threw the playoff opener for Littlestown against Brushtown on Friday with the rain out. He's only on 3 days rest today, but he only threw 40 pitches in game number 1 of the playoffs as he went 4 innings. He gave up 3 hits, no runs, and struck out 3 batters, nary a walk for him. One of the hits was a bunt single as the Dodgers won that game 11-1. On the regular season for Gladhill, his numbers are quite impressive as he will certainly get some votes for Pitcher of the Year this year in the South Penn League. 9 appearances, 7 starts, 46 innings pitched, 7-0 record. He's also recorded 2 saves and 2 opportunities, both his relief appearances. 28 hits, 11 runs, only 6 of them earned. 39 strikeouts, 15 walks. He did hit 7 batters in his 46 innings. .91 earned run average and a .94 whip. He threw 625 pitches on the regular season and faced 188 batters. When he does let people on, he stranded a lot of them, 38 stranded batters for Justin Gladhill. And he'll go after Travis Black to lead things off. And this epic semifinal series is underway on Flea Flicker Media. Travis Black in the leadoff spot once again for Cashtown. He hit .383 on the regular season. Hits this one liner to third. Clint Roche with the spear. He brought the leather to the park today, and it's a good thing. 2 pitches and 1 out for Gladhill and the Dodgers here in the very first inning. Already went over that Cashtown batting lineup, so you'll see it unfold here in front of you. As number 2 in the order is Aiden Julich, the right fielder for Cashtown. It was this ballpark 2 years ago where we saw the breakout for Julich as he played a key role for the Pirates on their way to their most recent South Penn League championship. He takes ball 1 here from Gladhill. The kick in the toss, that one also called a ball. I think we have the same umpire that we had in Cashtown on Sunday, I do believe. So May get some ambiguous strike calls here today. We'll have to bear with them. That one catches the knee. That one, nothing ambiguous about that. 2 balls and 1 strike, now the count. Hagerstown hosting Mason-Dixon in the other semifinal. The Hagerstown Braves heavily favored in that one. As the kick in the pitch, Julich hits this one off the mound. Copenhaver up with it, throw across to first, and Sam Wirtz completes it. 6-3 on the putout, and Aiden Julich will hang a wide berth in the foul territory and head back to the dugout as it's 2 up, 2 down here now for Gladhill. Winner of this series will face the winner of that Hagerstown Mason-Dixon series in the finals. Neither team worried about that right now. Both teams worried about the longtime rival that's standing directly in front of them, and for Gladhill, 60 feet, 6 inches away. Chase King, old standby, the center fielder for Cashtown, batting in the number 3 spot once again, as we've grown accustomed to seeing him. 233 on the regular year for King. The kick and the throw for Gladhill, that one misses, 1 ball and 1 strike. King had a 3-hit game in the opener of the playoffs this year, Thursday night against Frederick, as he helped the Pirates to a 6-1 victory in that game. Drives this one to left field. That's in there for the first base hit of the game. And they're swinging early and often against Gladhill here. Got the first 2 guys out, but King's liner finds a hole. And the Pirates opening the account offensively for this one. Chris Shackle to the plate now, twice the league MVP. 2017, 2019, 2006 graduate of Gettysburg High School as he stands in there.
I do special ed, so I have kiddos from 2nd and 3rd.
Had a double and a big insurance run on Sunday against the Frederick Flying Dogs. This one chopped on the ground, foul down the 3rd base line. Roach giving it a look over, but it goes foul. Got a pretty good crowd here for this one today, as it's an area rivalry game. We've also got a youth soccer camp going on at the Thunderbolt Stadium off beyond the 3rd base dugout here, so surprisingly parking not at a premium. I was able to get my usual spot out beyond the right field foul territory here. Here's the pitch to Shackle, chops that one foul down the 3rd base line again, and over to scoop it up is one of the members of the Cashtown Pirates. Might have been today's starting pitcher, Colby Hahn. Yeah, that's Austin Kunkel. That was Sunday's starting pitcher. I don't figure we'll see Kunkel today, but Cashtown has brought him back on short rest a number of times, so we may see him on Thursday when he would be on 3 days rest. Gladhill on 3 days rest here with 2 strikes to Shackle. This one popped foul down the right field line. I have no idea where that ball is. I'm just glad it didn't hit me in the head. Oh, we got a ball in our lap up at Brushtown on Saturday. That was fun. That play right there, decidedly less fun. 2 strikes still to Shackle as he waggles the bat behind his right ear. The kick, the throw. This one misses down low. Shackle working his way back into the count. As these 2 longtime rivals do battle. Littlestown and Cashtown have played nearly dead even over the last 3 years. Cashtown winning 7 and Littlestown winning at 6. As the pickoff throw to first and Chase King in, standing and stumbling into the bag, away from the tag from Sam Wirtz. Who will be the hero today? We've yet to see. But in the next 2+ hours, that certainly will be decided. Shackle stands in there once again. Here's the pitch. Oh. He took it confidently, so he definitely thought it wasn't a strike, but a lot of people around the Littlestown stands here, oohing and eyeing, thinking that one might have caught the zone there a little bit, but Shackle still alive in the count here now. Gladhill dangles the ball at his right hip. Up to the set position. King stationary at first. Here's the pitch. That one dips outside, and the count runs full now to Chris Shackle. That'll give King a head start here at first base. Anything in the gap, you figure King's going to score, barring a superhuman effort by one of these outfielders to get over. Gladhill going to step off as he didn't like something that was going on there. We'll try to get a look at the runner here and the batter all in one frame as the 3-2 pitch The first big moment in this South Penn semifinals. Gladhill to the rubber. Here's the kick and the toss. That one popped up on the infield. Roach calling it out. He's got it. And a scoreless first inning. No runs, one hit, no errors. One man left. It's a clean inning for Gladhill. Cashtown 0 and Littlestown coming to bat here on Flea Flicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Now in the field here for the bottom of the first inning, the Cashtown Pirates defensive lineup looks like this. At first base, Robert Rohrball. At second base for the Pirates is Travis Black. Oh no, he's DHing, excuse me. That's Zach Coons at second base. Wes Coolball is the shortstop for the Pirates today. Over at third, Ethan Ketterman, who was the 2019 South Penn Young Player of the Year award winner. Out in left field, it's Chris Shackle. You can probably recite this defensive outfield for Cashtown in your sleep if you've been watching along with us. It's Chase King in center. And Aiden Julich over in right field. They line up behind Colby Hahn, one of Littlestown's favorite sons, now on the hill pitching against Littlestown, as this one dips down low to Trent Copenhaver, the first batter. We'll have that Littlestown lineup for you here in a moment as Colby Hahn, the other Hahn for for Cashtown. There's a dart, 2 strikes to Copenhaver to start things off, and the Littlestown hitters out in the dugout have to be saying, so it's like that. Well, it appears so. No balls and 2 strikes from Hahn. The kick, the delivery, chopped, foul by Copenhaver. That one spins in the dirt and the grass down into the Cashtown on-deck circle. Littlestown lineup looks like this. It's Copenhaver, the shortstop, batting leadoff. Justin Keith, the left fielder, batting second. Jake Saylor, the catcher, bats third. Sam Wirtz, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Clint Roach, the third baseman, bats fifth. Wade Linebaugh, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Jacob Cromer, the right fielder, bats seventh. Brandon Nail, playing second base and batting eighth. And Ben Stevens, the center fielder, bats ninth. And that ball was tracking right for us here. It ends up just maybe a row beyond the top of the bleachers here at Littlestown's Memorial Field. So still 0-2 to Copenhaver. That one misses down and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Hahn, on the regular season, he made 3 appearances for Cashtown. 2 starts. He was 2-0, 14 1/3 innings pitched. His ERA was a sparkling 0.48. Copenhaver hits another one foul out into the street. I think that one missed the special neighbor's yard that we have circled out there. Just wish we had John Madden here with the telestrator to actually circle something. There's a swing and a miss. Blows the heat by Copenhaver, and 1 down here in the Littlestown first inning. Behind the plate for Cashtown, that's J.C. Collins. We didn't get to mention that yet. Collins, who's been a shortstop, a center fielder, a catcher. He's pitched a lot for Cashtown over the years. Justin Keith, 2006 graduate of DeLone Catholic High School, stands in the box now, the player-manager for Littlestown. Check swing, and no swing, and it appeared to be the correct call from our vantage point down the first base line here. 1 ball and no strikes to Littlestown's foremost lefty slugger. On the kick and the toss. That one catches the zone solidly. 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 2 will be Thursday at 6 o'clock in Cashtown. And then the weekend games, they'll be at 1 o'clock. As this one dips inside to Keith, 2 balls and 1 strike. Littlestown will host the Saturday game. That one is necessary for sure. It could be a potential clinching game for one of these teams for the first time. As the toss from Hahn, Keith takes that one down low, and it's 3-1. Sunday's game is, if necessary, that'll be at Cashtown Community Fire Hall. And then, if necessary, a decisive Game 5 would be played here at Littlestown on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Keith drives this one foul down the third baseline off of the Littlestown Thunderbolts ticket booth over there. And the count runs full. So Littlestown's first couple of batters making Hahn work a little harder than the Dodgers starter Gladhill had to in the first inning. Gladhill got some quick outs. Check swing, no swing, and Justin Keith has drawn his 5th walk of the postseason in just 3 games. Keith entered today's game a perfect 1,000, 3 for 3 on the postseason. That's his 8th straight postseason at bats. He's reached base now for the Dodgers, and he's got to be nearing some sort of South Penn League record. As he'll give way in the batter's box now to Jake Saylor. As we mentioned earlier on, Saylor drove in 8 runs in the 2 games against Brushtown. On with his first bit of base runnership to deal with here. That one misses up high at the top of the Anaheim Ducks-style hockey mask and the Littlestown Dodgers logo. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Both these teams can certainly put up the numbers on offense, but 2 pitchers on the hill today that can also prevent that. Hard chopper up the middle. That's going to get through unfettered. And the first base hit of the game against Hahn as Saylor rounds first with a sense of pride as he's now 5 for 7 on the postseason. And these Littlestown batters, all their numbers look great on the postseason here coming into their 3rd game. And those of you that watched, we had both of the Littlestown games against Brushtown on our airwaves. And it didn't look like a fair fight for most of it. Brushtown put up a battle, but Littlestown looking like one of the strongest Dodger teams that we've seen in recent years. Sam Wirtz to the plate now. Big-time RBI guy for the Dodgers. 2 on, 1 out. There's a strike, a big clutch hit from Hahn as he faces his first bit of adversity here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Hahn will check the runner, Keith, and don't think for a minute that he won't take off for 3rd if he gets the chance. Here's the kick and the toss on Wirtz. Takes that foul ball. Wirtz looking to matriculate these guys around the bases here. He had a grand slam to start the playoffs off right. Hard chopper to short. It's shallow though, and it's booted, overrun by Coolball, the youngster there at shortstop, who's going to be a candidate to win the South Penn's Young Player of the Year award, but couldn't come up with that one there. Would have had a play on Wirtz at first, but not able to get to it, and the Dodgers have loaded the bases. And aside from Wirtz and Saylor in this lineup, who better could you ask for the Dodgers to take this big, pressure-packed situation here, bases loaded in the very first inning, than the veteran Clint Roach? Roach takes strike 1 at the knees. He hit .348 on the regular season, the former Hanover Raider. One of the most interesting batting stances in the South Penn League as he stands in there, lashes this one to short. It's caught by Coolball, flipped to second. I thought he was calling him out at second, but he had the fist raised in the air for the putout. Safe at second is Saylor as he scrambles back. And 2 down as Roach hit that one on the screws, a sinking liner. 2 outs now with the bases loaded, and Wade Lineball strides to the dish. Roach's teammate with the Hanover Raiders. He's the designated hitter today for Hanover, or for Littlestown, excuse me. Weak chopper to third. Ethan Ketterman in on it. Throw to first. He's got his man. The Dodgers load the bases. They do it on a hit, an error, and a walk. But they're all left. At the end of 1 inning, we're scoreless. On the show, the South Penn League quarterfinals on Flea Flicker Media. Back in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back to the ballpark here at Littlestown, and we're ready for some more high-flying, hard-hitting rivalry action here in the second inning. As it's the Littlestown Dodgers behind Justin Gladhill looking to put up another 0 here against the Cashtown Pirates. This one popped up in the air by Cool Ball to right field. Coming on and hauling it in with the easy catches, Jacob Cromer. A good job of reading that one. Really good break for him on that ball. And Cool Ball retired on 1 pitch. That's been the theme of things here for Gladhill in the postseason. He motored through 4 innings on just 40 pitches on Friday. Don't know what his pitch count is here right now, but y'all can check on the Game Changer app if you'd like to know. As to the plate now is Zach Coons. Coons' regular season was an interesting one. Just 7 hits for him on the regular year, but 2 of them of the walk-off variety. Chopper to second, Nail down on it. The throw across to first, and Wirtz completes the play. 3 pitches, 2 outs quickly, and if this is going to continue here, I might be home in time for dinner tonight. Ethan Ketterman will stride to the batter's box now for Cashtown. Ketterman came alive with 2 hits on Sunday against Frederick, 2 big hits as he helped fuel a 9-run Cashtown rally in that game. Takes ball number 1. As we mentioned in the pregame, Ketterman, the 2019 South Penn Young Player of the Year award winner. And he sends this one sky high to the right side. Nail after it. Cromer catches it behind the telephone pole over there in right field just a little bit. And 5 pitches and 3 outs for Gus Gladhill. Well, that was quick. At least we get to keep the second inning on our scoreboard for another few minutes as we'll come back for Littlestown's turn.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Set to go here in the bottom of the second, it's Colby Hahn. The Littlestown grad dealing to Jacob Cromer to start things off. Staring in a la Roger Clemens. Here's the kick, the toss. This one misses down low. He points emphatically, but up in the air for ball one instead of pointing out to the side. For a strike. Cromer wanting to join Dodger Dave Klunk down there at first base. As the first base coach looking for something to do here, and that's strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned in our open over 50 years of this Littlestown Cashtown rivalry, and Dodger Dave has been there for almost all of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count to Cromer. Cromer hit 189 on the regular year. 3 for 6 with a double on the postseason, though. Picks that one up over his head. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count. After Cromer, it'll be Brandon Nail, the second baseman, and then Ben Stevens, the center fielder, to round out the order. That one misses down low, and the count runs full 3 balls and 2 strikes here now. I hope y'all are having a pleasant time hearing our audio, wherever you're watching from, whether it be back home in Adams County or somewhere outside the area tuning into this one. Cromer chops this one on the ground. It goes off of Hahn's glove, redirects, up with it and throwing on to first base is Zach Coons. It'll go 1-4-3 on the putout, score that play at home. And 6 pitches and 1 out. It took Hahn more pitches in that 1 at bat than it took Gladhill the entire top of the second inning. So yeah, wherever you're tuning in, I'm sure you've got fans from both teams tuning in here. Drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. Brandon Nail at the plate. He chips this one foul. Nail hit .242 on the regular season. Solid contributions for this Littlestown offense. But it's with the bat. It's with the glove where he really makes a difference. Look like the old number 2 as that one catches the zone. Leaves Nail shaking his head as he wasn't so sure about that one, but the count 1 ball and 1 strike. As off in the distance, a truck is using its Jake brake. This one chopped foul down the first base line. It's caught up in the thick grass and foul territory over there. Field looks in good shape here today, though. The Dodgers were out working on it for a couple of hours this afternoon before the guys even really started getting to the ballpark. As Nail fights this one foul. That was headed right for that truck that's going down Newark Street there, but hits the fence, and the day is saved. 2 strikes still to Nail. That one misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count from Hahn. We do hope you'll continue to make Flea Flicker Media your home for the South Penn playoff coverage, as we'll have as many games as we can for you from here to the finish of the postseason tournament. Strike 3 called. Nail called out on strikes, and Rohrball was either headed off the field or headed in to talk to somebody. He did a really good heck of a job playing that one off there if he didn't know how many outs there were. I think he... I'm not sure. I won't speculate. He was really moving like he was going somewhere. Could have simply have just been coming in to talk to his pitcher or get some defensive alignment tips from the dugout. Now the end man in the new Littlestown lineup, it's Ben Stevens. Stevens is working on a perfect postseason. He's 2 for 2 at the bottom of the Littlestown order against Brushtown. Hahn's kicking a throw. That one back Stevens off the plate. A purpose pitch. Opens up the front door breaker or something on the outside corner if he so chooses. Lots of options here for Hahn. Chopped back to the mound. Hahn will run it over to first and toss it underhand of Rohrbal. The former Tacoma Rainier hauls it in. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Colby Hahn. At the end of 2, still no score here on Flea Flicker Media. Won't you stay with us for a while?
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Catterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back for some more South Penn action. We're through 2 innings scoreless with Gus Gladhill and Colby Hahn matching zeros to start this thing off. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the Cashtown order as they look to get off the schneid here in the 3rd inning. That means Robert Rohrbal will lead things off. Reached AAA in the Seattle Mariners system. He was a pitcher in his professional baseball playing days. Now at 38 years old, I believe he's done a really fine job of hitting since coming over to the South Penn League here, though. Once a fantastic pitcher as well. Last year was the first time he had pitched in quite a few years, though, as he appeared in the South Penn League at playoffs a bunch of times for Cashtown. Scoreless in about 10 innings of work. Takes strike 1, a dart from Gladhill. For Rohrbal, he won the South Penn League batting title in the truncated 2020 COVID season. He had a robust .607 batting average that year, blowing away the competition. Pops this one up. Wirtz calling for it, and he's got it on the last grain of dirt along the first base side here for Littlestown, and 2 pitches and another quick out. And Gladhill really doing his best Greg Maddux impersonation here to start this one. This keeps up, he's gonna complete 7 innings without getting anywhere near 100 pitches. Cashtown looking to disrupt his rhythm as it's J.C. Collins, the longtime Pirate, standing in there. He takes ball 1. J.C. usually likes to take until he gets a strike, but sometimes late in the game he'll ambush. That one misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Collins had just 7 at-bats during the regular season. He got 2 hits in them for a very respectable .286 of batting average. This is at least the 3rd game he's caught in the South Penn League playoffs, as here's the kick in the toss. This one fouled off into the screen, and he lets out a grunt as he picked something to his liking there on 2-0 and didn't do what he wanted to do with it. But he got the arms going, got loose on that one, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Takes a little while to stretch out all the joints and muscles and everything when you've been crouching behind the plate for a while. Gladhill brings the glove over the head. The pitch, oh, it hits Collins square in the back, and he crumples to the ground. He's up to his knees, and one can only hope that just took the wind out of him for a moment. That sounded solid, and he's a warrior, so he'll head down to first base. Sociable guy, he's always talking to somebody. He's got a smile on his face and chuckling on his way down the first base dugout, talking with Sam Wirtz, longtime competitors in this league. And as far as Collins is concerned, yeah, it probably still hurts, but he'll take one for the team. He'd like to get that 7th championship ring for Cashtown. Back to the top of the order, it's Travis Black. Backing away from that one inside as he saw what happened to his teammate on the previous pitch, and he wasn't too eager to lean in there. Black had a great swing on the First at bat of the game, he lined one, but Clint Roach there to intercede at third base. That one misses high, 2 balls and no strikes, and Gladhill temporarily losing feel for the strike zone here. His playoff opener against Brushtown, he warmed up in the bullpen and said he didn't have any feel for anything, any control, and that it was going to be a rough day, but no walks for him, just 3 hits, 4 shutout innings. If that's a bad day for him, a lot of pitchers will gladly take that as a good day. Collins over to second as that one kicks away from Saylor, who tried to stab it. It bounced in the dirt first, so it'll be a wild pitch on Gladhill. The count now 3-0. To the former Gettysburg Warriors leadoff hitter, Travis Black, who's now reprising his senior year role with the Cashtown Pirates. Well, Gregory Daskovich certainly had an eye for leadoff talent when he put Black at the top of the order. And the new Gettysburg High School baseball coach, Eric Ketterman, now batting the former leadoff guy in high school at the leadoff spot here for Cashtown. There's strike one, the count 3 balls and 1 strike to Black. Just 2 more hits on the regular season, he would have hit over 400. But he's not thinking about that right now. Swinging a foul tip, and the count runs full. That's been the theme of the game here early on. I think that's the second full count for Gladhill here to start things off. But Hahn's run 2 or 3 of them as well. Collins at second with 1 out. Black looking to bring him on home. We're scoreless here in the third. Gladhill the slide and the toss. This one popped foul towards the Littlestown dugout. Wirtz giving it a look. That one's going to crack against something hard over there along the dugout steps and out of play. A good amount of fair territory here at this ballpark. I'd say it's about average to what the rest of the teams in the ballparks in the South Penn League have, but it seems like most balls that are hitting foul territory here tend to get out of play. We'll do it again. A 7th pitch coming to Travis Black, who had 23 hits on the regular season. Just looking for 1 here in the postseason now. Looking back, the runner is Gladhill. Ball 4, and Black running out of the box before that ball was even caught as he knew it was wide. He does his job as the leadoff man, sees a ton of pitches and gets down to first base. And him and Collins, the 2 longtime Dodgers, will take up their spots on first and second base. Aiden Julich to the dish. He grounded out to Trent Copenhaver. Copenhaver had to come in on the run and throw that one to first base to get the second out of the ball game back in the first inning as Gladhill steps off here now. Julich's regular season, he hit .228. He also threw 14 and a third innings as a dual threat for this Cashtown team. He's squaring to bunt here and fouls that one off. Might have taken a piece of Saylor with him. Or maybe he got the home plate umpire. I'll tell you what, we've got 2 incredibly tough catchers here in this ball game today. There was once a time when Collins was certainly an Iron Man for the Cashtown Pirates when he would catch almost every day. Now with all the options that Cashtown has behind the dish, that's not something he has to do anymore, but he's there when they need him. Gladhill the slide step. Julich squaring to bunt again. That one is not good. It goes foul. Saylor springing out from behind home plate to get that one and throws down to first base. But it is a foul ball. Interesting with 1 out here that they're going the route of the sacrifice bunt, although Julich certainly athletic enough to lay it down in a spot and get to first. Saw him try to bunt against Frederick too and fouled off the first 2 pitches bunting. That was in inning number 1 before he rallied back from an 0-2 count and drew a walk. 0-2 here, he'd love to do the same thing. Gladhill wants to put this at bat away. This one driven back up the middle. Cashtown is going to score first in this one. It looks like no. Collins is going to hold it third as the throw comes in. As that's Wirtz, the first baseman, all the way over on the third base side of the mound to cut that one off. Talk about doing your homework. That's some Derek Jeter level preparation right there. As he goes over to cut that one off, and it was Collins. I think if it's almost anybody else on Cashtown, they're probably trying to score him on that one. Maybe not Rohrball, but a number of other people. Chase King, if he was at third. Either way, Cashtown will hold up Collins. He's 90 feet away, and Chase King the batter. King with a single his first time up. takes a letter-high strike, and Gladhill in the soup for the first time here in the third inning. Bases packed with Bucks, 1 out. In the shadows of Thunderbolt Stadium, soccer kids playing off in the distance. Gladhill staring in for the sign, the throw. King lines this one down the third base line. That's going to get in there. 1 run will score. Here comes Black. The ball does not make it. And Black in there safely as the Pirates grab 2 and jump on top. Chase King, his second hit of the ball game. He takes second on the throw towards the plate. So a 2-run single is how that one will be scored, and he takes second on the throw. And the Pirates set up for another or 2. And Gladhill, the ace of this Dodger staff, you wonder if being 1 day short on rest is getting to him here in the third inning. Probably not. In the Cashtown dugout before the game, they remarked that Gladhill is probably the one throwing today because they throw him every day. Shackle spanks this one down the third base line. That one gets some dirt. Over to get it in third is the left fielder, King, racing home. He'll score. The play at second. Shackle sliding in. He is safe. Cashtown placing 4 on the board here in the third inning. And boy, the Pirates all over Gladhill here this second time through the order. As you can see, the poof of dirt as that one kicked up some dust in fair territory, just inside the line and just inside the first cut of the outfield grass. Over and left to cut that one off was Justin Keith, but he didn't have a play at the plate. They got it into second and made it close there. Wes Coolball stands in there and he takes a hardy cut and fouls that one off, and if it weren't for the netting behind home plate, that ball would not be seeing South Penn baseball action ever again. No balls and 1 strike to Coolball. Coolball flew out to right field to lead off the second inning as Gladhill set down the Pirates on 5 pitches in order. Different story here in the third inning. Still just 1 out for the Pirates. J.C. Collins was drilled by a pitch in the back. And that's how this rally started. Shackle the lead from second. That one up and in. Heading towards the clavicle of Coolball, and then he bends back. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. So 3 straight hits for Cashtown. 2 singles and then a double by Shackle. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Good rally there from Gladhill to get that one over, and the count now 2-2. Looking to fight to stay alive here. Gladhill looking to keep his team close. This one is off the pitcher. Back up the middle. It's Nail with the throw on to first. Not in time, as hustling that one out is Coolball. Another one of these young dual threats for the Cashtown Pirates, and he's got his first hit of the game. And Gladhill, he doesn't seem like he feels all that well. I'm not sure where that ball caught him, but he was hunched over for a moment. And now he's got the Dodger brain trust out on the mound, the infield, and the catcher out there, and he'll take a moment to collect himself. I want to give you a moment that these mound visits are brought to you by Battlefield Military Museum, located at 920 Baltimore Pike in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Check them out. You got a month and a half left to see the location in its original state and in its original location. Gladhill will head back up to the mound, and I guess he's all right. Seemed like he got a good bit of glove in front of his body on that one. It was a heat-seeking missile, difficult one for him to try and block down. Zach Coon's up. He grounded out to Brandon Nail his first time, and there's a perfect first pitch strike from Gladhill. Cashtown with 4 on the board here already. They'd love to deliver another haymaker. That one up and in, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Moose and Oz from the Cashtown dugout now. Well, it was the big thing here. Which one of these teams was going to break through first? And it felt like one of those games where it was going to be a run here, a run there, maybe a 2-1 ball game. Breaking ball down low, tempting from Gladhill, but not enough for Coons to offer at it. And Cashtown doing a really excellent job of plate discipline here at the plate in this inning. Gladhill's plan always seemed to be to pitch to contact. Cashtown's just seeking out the pitches they want here and hitting them hard. Ground ball to short. Copenhaver over to second. On to first. Double play. Rack 'em up. They roll it 6-4-3. Cashtown Pirates strike for 4. They'll take a 4-run lead into the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3 hits, 1 man left. No errors for Littlestown in the inning. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors here on Flea Flicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
My name's Chris Shackle, and you're watching South Penn Baseball on Flea Flicker Media.
Back to action here at the ballpark, and yes, Tom Sixes of the Gettysburg Times here. There'll be an article in the newspaper tomorrow about this ball game, and he figures to be, I would think, here for all 5 games of this series, unless they send Jeff Cook over here to cover a game or 2. Leading off the bottom of the 3rd is Trent Copenhaver, and the Dodgers right where they want to be with their batting order as it's the top. So they look to carve into this newfound 4-run deficit. It was Gladhill looking like the more steady of these 2 pitchers who were off to excellent starts in this game, but he blinks first in the top of the 3rd. Now it's up to Littlestown to make Hahn blink here in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Copenhaver was late on a heater after an 8-pitch battle in the 1st inning. Struck out. That one called a strike. Looked like he took something off it, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Copenhaver. On the regular season, he hit .348. Came into this game 4 for 6 on the postseason. Copenhaver looking to battle now. He's the leadoff man here in the 3rd. Fouled off. Collective groan around the ballpark, as we all know what that means. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking it ended up in that yard, but I've got a big banner up here behind the stands blocking me off from seeing it, but that's the general area. Thankful for this banner, though. I don't know what's on the other side, but it's keeping the sun off my back, so I like that. Hahn to deliver the 1-2 pitch once again. Framed up nicely by Collins. The veteran doesn't get the call in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Copenhaver didn't even flinch, so it must have been off the corner a little bit. That one way outside and down in the dirt, and the count runs full. Hahn been very strong here at the start. Be interesting to see how long they let him go in terms of pitch count here. As that one misses high, and Copenhaver draws the walk. And Littlestown looking to answer back in what they hope becomes a slugfest here today after the way things started there in the 3rd inning. Dodger Dave Klunk has some company down there at first base now as the leadoff man Copenhaver on here in the 3rd. Justin Keith, the batter. He's reached 8 consecutive appearances in this postseason. 3 hits, 5 walks. The kick to throw. Going after the first one. As that hasn't been the MO for him in this postseason. He's been taking pitches and working at deep counts. The MO of this sweat bee up here in the booth is to really annoy me. I'm sure Keith annoying opposing pitchers with his ability to work the count this postseason. No balls and 1 strike the count, and Hahn trying to be the first pitcher to get him out this postseason. Here's the kick to toss. Misses clavicle high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Copenhaver at first with his leadoff walk. Littlestown with just 1 hit so far in the ball game. A pair of walks. Hahn has struck 1 guy out. One ball and 1 strike now as Hahn looks set. Ketterman playing in at third. Copenhaver heads to second and slides. He didn't know that ball was foul tipped at the plate, and to his chagrin, he'll look up and realize he's got to head back to first base. It was weird. It was weird the way it went, but it had to have been tipped. The way that banged off the catcher's mitt back there. You don't see Collins box one that way. Not very often. I'm sure he's done it before because he's caught for so long, but Hahn will go for a walk here for a moment. The home plate umpire might be running low on baseballs. That might be the reason for the stoppage here. Either that or that ball caught Collins a little bit uncomfortably, and the home plate umpire with some professional courtesy here. 1 ball and 2 strikes, Justin Keith. He hit .316 on the regular season. Too bad his name isn't John. Chopper back to the mound, springing to get it is Hahn. He'll run it over to first, and the short flip to Robert Rohrbaugh. A little strange the way that one played out, a little disjointed over there, but they get the out easily and 1 down. Copenhaver into scoring position, and you get the feeling that Littlestown's got to get at least something on the board to answer here in the third. The right guy at the plate to help them do that is Jake Saylor. Saylor has the lone Littlestown hit in this ball game. Strike, chest high, no balls and 1 strike to count to Saylor. Saylor hit a ground ball back up the middle that cleared the second base bag and went into center field. Back in the first inning. Breaking ball misses just low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Hahn will step off, as not sure if he was worried about Copenhaver there or not. Something disjointed, and he'll take a moment here. These two teams last met in the 2022 South Penn League semifinals. In terms of playoff series, Cashtown took that series 3-1 en route to their most recent South Penn League championship, as that one misses up and in. Well, Littlestown had their fun in the 80s. From 79 to 85, they beat the Cashtown Pirates every year in the championship series, 7 straight seasons. And they got them again in 1989. Here's the kick and the throw from Hahn. That one misses down low, and Saylor working a good count here. During that time period, Littlestown's Randy Reynolds became the player with the distinction of having the longest gap between winning MVP awards in the South Penn League, as he won it in 1978 with Littlestown and then again in 1988. As that one misses outside, and Saylor, who is one of the foremost MVP candidates this year, takes ball 4. He'll head down to first. 2 walks for the Dodgers here in the third inning. A lot of good candidates for the Dodgers. One of them coming up here now is Sam Wirtz. And he can't hit a grand slam here because the bases aren't loaded, but he did that on Friday, and he can certainly help pull his team back into this game with a good at-bat and some good contact. Copenhaver bouncing off of second base. Here's the pitch. Wirtz underneath that one and fouls it off. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Give a shout out to the Biglerville Black Sox tuning in here, the Biglerville Black Sox Facebook page. Glad you guys are enjoying some South Penn baseball here. We enjoy our trips to the Don, J. Henry Don Harrell Memorial Park at Oakside. Copenhaver getting a good secondary lead. Wirtz fights this one off the left. That's going to get down. Having to hold up for a moment was Copenhaver. He'll play it station to station, and the Dodgers are going to load the bases here now for Clint Roach. Roach will bat with the bases loaded for a second time in this ball game, and you know he doesn't want to have 6 guys left on base after his first 2 plate appearances. At least want to make some good solid contact, put it in place somewhere here, and get that runner home from third. Get the account started for the Dodgers. They threatened in each of the last 2 innings. They threatened a bit in the first inning as well. Well, no, they threatened in the first in this inning. That one misses down low. It gets away. Here comes Copenhaver. He better make it, and he does. Slides under the tag, and the Dodgers are on the board. Littlestown strikes first, and back they come. Advance from all the runners as Saylor up to third, and Sam Wirtz up to second base. Really good thing that they had Copenhaver down there at third, too. One of their faster runners, one of their more alert and aggressive base runners down there. One out now in minute, second and third, and J.C. Collins has had an equipment malfunction of some sort. Yeah, it looks like he's bringing a different glove out here. Looks like that's a lighter tanner glove than the darker one that he started the ball game off with, and he might have busted a string on that one. So that one went to the backstop. The Dodgers on the board. Roach looking for more. 1 ball, no strikes. Clint Roach sends this one in the air. He's upset because he got under it quite a bit. Making the catch is Shackle. He's got a rocket. Throwing in. It's cut off. Coming home to score is Jake Saylor, and the Dodgers have a second one here in the third inning. So 4 for Cashtown in the top half, 2 for the Dodgers here in the bottom half as Roach goes to get some fist bumps from his teammates in the dugout. We've seen Shackle throw guys out from that distance before, but throws it into the cutoff man here. They'll keep Wirtz at second base. For Wade Lineball with 2 outs. Lineball hit a number to third baseman Ethan Ketterman to end the first inning. That one catches the outer reaches of the strike zone. Not too sure about that one, but called a strike, no balls, and 1 strike. Be sure to stick around after the game in this one. We'll have an interview with the player of the game. Got a lot of candidates burgeoning here early on in this one. As that one bounces away, Collins didn't even get a glove on that, as that was about a 55-foot pitch that spiked and went back to the rubber backstop here. Wirtz up to third and getting some good-natured ribbing from his teammates about his speed, or lack thereof. He's at third now, so a lot of ways that he can, well, maybe not a lot of ways, but a few ways that he can score from third with 2 outs that he can't score from second. Lineball trying to make that all academic as he fouls it off. For Lineball, his regular season was marked with accomplishment, a .313 batting average. He's moved over here to Littlestown this year with the folding of the Hanover Raiders due to that unfortunate situation that happened at Diller Field with all that went down. The kick and the throw from Hahn. Lineball takes that one outside. Wirtz still at third, the remnants of a Dodger rally that has plated 2 so far. Lineball looking to ignite it again and make sure that Wirtz isn't left behind. On the kick, the throw, swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. But the Dodgers strike for 2. An absolutely enormous rally for them as they cut that Cashtown lead in half. You gotta respond, and the Dodgers do. We'll be back here on Flea Flicker Media with the 4th inning of this ball game.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Well, sorry for getting back here a little late to the ballpark. Our commercial ran a little long. Ethan Ketterman almost took out his dad, and Austin Kunkel, and a couple other Cashtown Pirates, as well as Tom Sixes of the Gettysburg Times over there. He belted some beverage that went flying. You're supposed to do that to the other team's dugout, not your own dugout. At least that was the rule when I played. This one hit foul down the left field line. That one's probably going to fall in there in foul territory, as that one is in there. Everybody giving a good account of themselves, but it's just a Bermuda Triangle foul ball, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Ethan Ketterman. So, he was way out in front on the first pitch. Barreled it, hit it hard, but the barrel just was going through the zone way earlier than that ball was really there. And hilarity ensued. Commercials ran a little long there, so we do apologize for that. It's a shame. That would have been a good piece for our end of the playoffs montage, which we may run at the end of the final game of the championship series. This is down low. The hands went a little bit. The body went a little bit, but everything held back, as Ketterman will stay alive in the count here. Gladhill out there for another inning of work, as he gets that one a long, looping fly ball to left field. Catching that one is Justin Keith, and one away here in the Cashtown 4th inning. Well, the stunned silence that hit this ballpark in the top of the 3rd when Cashtown scored 4 has been replaced by hopeful pockets of energy as the Dodgers struck back for 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. We'll have a scoring summary here for you later on in the game. Both teams hoping to add to that as it's Rohrball takes one around the shins, 1 ball and no strikes. Rohrball 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the kick and the toss. That one called a strike. Robert Rohrball was 8 for 29 on the regular season with a home run. That takes a strike there too. Rohrball, the head varsity baseball coach for Littlestown High School, so definitely some connections here for him, as we were joking that we were going to dub this the Roar Bowl. Out in front of that one, waiting back on it is Roach. The throw across the diamond to first. Wirtz snags it out of the air, and 2 down. As Gladhill getting back into the groove here. J.C. Collins, the number 9 hitter in the order, will stride to the dish now and look to keep the Pirates from going quietly here in the 4th. Strike 1 to the longtime Cashtown guy who's played all over the field. To call him a utility man would almost be an insult to his career, because a utility man's a guy that has a part-time role. He's played a lot of different positions, but he's played them all full-time. Can of corn to center. Stevens is there. He's got it. Gladhill puts up his 3rd 0 of the ball game. We're halfway home on the show. It's Cashtown 4 and Littlestown 2 here in South Penn Semifinals, game number 1.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back to the ballpark here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Colby Hahn on the hill, pitching to Jacob Cromer. Lashes this one to left. That's got some carry on it. That's down in the corner. Cromer is going to round first. He's going to gun it to second base. Here comes the relay throw. Way late, and the man they call Poppy in there with a double gives the moose sign to the dugout. At least I think that's what that is. I'll have to get some clarification from the Dodgers post-game. But Cromer with his second double of the postseason, and his bat has come alive here in the most important time of the year for the Dodgers. That's the third hit for Littlestown. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Cashtown. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Littlestown here. And Brandon Nail to the plate. That one misses up high, 1 ball and no strikes. As Nail took a backwards K his first time up, strike 3, as he hung a U-turn and headed back to the Dodgers dugout a little bit in disbelief. 1 ball and no strikes here the count. That one backs him off the plate inside. 2-0 the count now. Well, the Dodgers have Nate Holt and Austin Kunkel. You figure we'll see them later on in this series here for the Dodgers, or for the Pirates, excuse me. Nail hits this one down the third baseline in the air. Foul ball. Looked like it was probably tracking that way all the way off the bat, but if it got down, there's a big patch of grass out there, and Cromer for sure would have come around to score. As Shackle had a long way to go to get to that one, and even with nobody out, I think the Dodgers could have safely scored Cromer on that play. Back to the drawing board. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hahn. Squaring his Nail, pulls it back. Rohrball crashing hard at first after the fact. 3 balls and 1 strike, and he's going to see a fastball here, I have to believe, unless Hahn doesn't have a feel for that thing right now. He certainly doesn't want to walk this guy with the number 9 hitter coming up next. Nail's got to pick a spot and look to rip it and grip it. Actually, those 2 words are back. The other direction, but that one misses down low. Ball 4, and Nail will rip his way on down to first base. 2 on, and Stevens to the dish. He grounded out to the pitcher Hahn his last time up. Ben Stevens, 2 for 3 now on the postseason. That was the first time he's been retired. A number of walks for him. You got to think the sacrifice is coming. There it is. Pulls it back, but not in his best instincts there as that one catches the zone. No balls and 1 strike. I know it's hard, though. The hardest thing to do as a batter is to be squaring for a bunt and still be able to judge the ball just on that outside corner. I've almost been kicked out of games for that before. This one fouled off. It's the most frustrating thing. When you lean forward to bunt, it's hard to see the outside corner. You lose track of it a little bit. And I'll admit to that umpire back in Teener League, I was probably wrong on that call, so I'm sorry that I insulted your family lineage that night. This one hit on the ground. That might get through. Oh, what a smooth play by Coons on to first. Double play. 4-6-3. They turn it like Omar Vizquel and Robbie Alomar of the 99 Cleveland Indians at the bag, and 2 huge outs for Cashtown and Hahn here in the 4th. Boy, that looked like it for all the world. It was going up the middle, and it goes from one fell swoop being a 3rd straight guy reaching and potentially a run scoring to Coons on the backhand, heading right to the bag, pitching it to cool ball, and the throw on to first beats the speedy Stevens. Copenhagen now will try to pick up the pieces. He takes ball 1. I'd like to give a shout out to Adam Whitman tuning in here on the broadcast. He's cheering for the Dodgers. Glad for the viewership here as this one fouled off by Copenhagen, and that ball's not coming back. Well, at least it took a piece of something with it this time, as the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I'll tell you, there's a neighbor like that outside the York Revolution field, too. Her house gets hit all the time. But she has no reason to be as grouchy as she is every single time. 2 balls and 1 strike now, the count to Copenhagen as he squares, and that one misses down low, 3-1. Yeah, I went out there to get a ball that was laying out there one time. I thought she was going to take my head off. Cromer, 90 feet away at third base. On the kick, the throw. That one misses, and there'll be men on the corners for the Dodgers here in the 4th inning. Justin Keith, who had his consecutive plate appearances reaching base streak snapped his last time up, he'll come to the plate, and Eric Ketterman heading out to the mound. Not always bringing the hook with him when he comes out for the first time. We'll see. Didn't see anybody up in the bullpen for Cashtown. Probably just talking things over as the righty will get to face a lefty here. Reminder, all these mound visits brought to you by Battlefield Military Museum. Again, located at 920 Baltimore Pike. August 31st, that's the drop-dead date. Come in and see it before then. Moving down the street to a smaller location, and a good portion of the collection will be in storage after that, so. Come see the things my grandfather collected over 70 years of his life. It's pretty impressive. The mound visit disperses, and Cashtown will head back to their defensive positions. Men on the corners, Copenhagen at first now, and Cromer over at third. He's been there for a while. Copenhagen represents the tying run here in the middle innings, so we'll see if he gets the wheels going down to second base. Keith's out last time, snapped a streak of 8 straight plate appearances, reaching bases. On-base percentage is .888 this postseason. Out and misses high. No throw as Copenhagen basically given second base. It'll officially be a steal, as there was a reaction from the shortstop Coolball. They've got to give him one there. So now 2 in scoring position for Keith. And he'd love his on-base percentage to be .900 for the postseason after this at-bat. Fans from the Dodgers enthralled with this one. That one called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Littlestown player-manager. Keith, also a pitcher for the Dodgers. We may see him out of the bullpen at some point today. He's their primary closer and has been for the better part of a decade. Here's the pitch. Backs him off the plate inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Do have to appreciate, in a lot of these South Penn games, we've seen umpires that have been calling it fairly, calling things that are pretty much on the plate or they're not. No expansion of the strike zone. They're not questioning what's a strike when you get to the 4th and 5th inning. Appreciate it. This one misses high, 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the 4th inning for Littlestown. They've got 2 on. Justin Keith with the count 3-1. They really don't want to face Jake Saylor here, although this left on right matchup, not the most fun for a pitcher to face either. And that's ball 4. Keith has walked for a 5th time in the postseason. He's been on 9 of 10 times. The bases are loaded. Well, I'm not sure we expected to see this kind of offensive excitement here today, but we've got Gladhill going on short rest. We've got Hahn, who's very good, but not one of Cashtown's top 2 options. He's here battling to a 4-2 lead in the 4th inning, as that one called a strike at the knees, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. I think a lot of people were guessing it was going to be Holt here today, but he's only on 4 days rest. And post-game on Thursday, he said he usually gets 6 or 7 days rest between starts. Fouled off by Saylor. Jake Saylor would love to hit double figures in RBI on the postseason here. Needs 2 of them to do that, and that's the same number he needs to tie the ball game. Semifinal game number 1. Colby Hahn looking for 1 pitch to get out of this. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Saylor cracks it to third. Ketterman standing right there, and he's got it. Out number 3, and the tension gets cut with a butter knife, and it's over for the moment. We'll head to the 5th with Littlestown, still trailing Cashtown at 4-2. 3 innings to go on the show. Stay with us.
I'm Dougie Sims, and you're watching Flea Flicker Media.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Catterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring.
Back here at the ballpark for the 5th inning, the lights just starting to kick on in Littlestown. As there is ball 1 to Travis Black, who leads things off here in the 5th. That was the question we were going to ask here. We haven't done a night game at Littlestown yet this season. I know as recently as 2 years ago they still turned the lights on here, so they got them coming on. We can play all night if we need to. I think there is a curfew for the South Penn League at some point. I think it's 11 o'clock. Something just tells me that number stands out for some reason. Cashtown looking to expand upon a 4-2 lead here in the 5th. Top of the order up. Black pounds this one into the dirt. Gladhill on to first, and Wirtz will throw it around the horn after receiving the toss from his pitcher. 1 down. Here in the visitors' half. Gladhill, aside from that one hiccup in the 3rd inning, has been nails. And he's given his Dodger team a chance to win this opening game of the series. Aiden Julich now the batter. There's a strike. Julich 1 for 2. He singled and scored his last time up. So here's the kick and the toss from Gladhill. Bye-bye baseball. No balls and 2 strikes to Julich. And a beautiful day here at the ballpark. We've been very lucky to get a lot of really great weather for the South Penn playoffs, as we're in the dead of summer here, and we usually get some baking hot, unfettered suns here throughout the postseason, but I only had really one of those games in the last couple of weeks here. The 1-2 pitch coming from Gladhill. Julich takes that one, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Julich, part of a 5-hit attack for Cashtown. $13 of them on the regular season for him, as he's found a home in the number 2 spot in this Cashtown batting order. Chopped to third. Roach has it. Throw across the diamond to Wirtz, leaning for it, and he's got it. 2 down. The beat goes on for Gladhill. Quick innings, quick outs for him. Looking to get those Dodgers back to the bat rack. Chase King now. Looking to go with 2 here for the Pirates. He's 2 for 2 on the day with 2 RBI. 2s are pretty wild in this situation right now. 1 ball and no strikes now to the veteran center fielder for Cashtown. Hits this one to right. Cromer coming in. Squeezes it. 3 up, 3 down. Gladhill continuing to do work for the Dodgers. He's through 5. The Dodgers have 9 outs left to try and get 2 runs and tie this thing up. We'll be back with more of the South Penn quarterfinals here on Flea Flicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Back to the ballpark. Bottom of the 5th, set to get underway. It's Sam Wirtz leading things off. When you hit cleanup for a ball club, sometimes you will hit leadoff, but normally the RBI guy. I gotta say, on my Diamond Dynasty team on MLB The Show, I've got a batting title Chipper Jones card that doesn't have much power, but I hit him cleanup because I usually make 3 outs in the first inning, and I need a guy that has contact to lead off the second inning, and it's working out for me. Unfortunately, after that Chipper Jones single, I usually strike out 3 more times. This one, a ball outside to Wirtz. 2 balls and no strikes. As Colby Hahn trying to fight his way back. The kick, the throw, Wirtz swinging a miss underneath that one. Underwater hat going there as he was a little bit late. Boy, it's really starting to kick on here in full force for the bottom of the 5th. Nice little slice of Littlestown here where this ballpark is. Not too busy, but enough traffic to go by that you don't feel like you're completely out in the wilderness. There's a swing and a miss, and that was strike 3 to Wirtz. The count was actually 1-2. He'll hang a U-turn and head back to the dugout. And a Hahn. Well, I guess I was right. I guess the count was 2-1. I could have sworn the umpire held up 2 fingers for 2 strikes, though, the last time, but the first 2 pitches were both balls, and this is the same thing with this home plate umpire that we had in Cashtown on Sunday. 2 balls and 2 strikes here now, the count. Chipped foul and spun in the area behind home plate. Both Littlestown and Cashtown dugouts were giving him the business. Went to Dodger Dave Klunk before the game, and he said a lot of great friendships build up during this rivalry in the 70s and 80s when they were playing for the championship against each other every year. Also mentioned a couple of bench-clearing brawls, but afterwards teams would get together and drink it out. That one misses inside. The count full now to Sam Wirtz, who is ready to give his at-bat up, thinking it was 3 strikes, but he's here now, and a chance to reach base. Hahn will step off before the pressure of this leadoff payoff pitch here in the 5th. Got people loosening the arms over on the Cashtown side. I think that might be Aiden Julich over there, or maybe Austin Kunkel. Here's the kick to throw. Wirtz reaches the bat out and drills this one to left. That's going to get down. Now it's going to roll. not quite to the wall. It's going to stop, and Wirtz will still get a double out of this. That ball hit, got past Shackle, and I think at the beginning of the summer here, when the grass was freshly cut, that ball would have probably rolled all the way to the wall, but it hit a patch and stayed. Nonetheless, Littlestown will take it, and Ketterman will head out to the mat. It looks like he's going to take Colby Hahn out of the game. He's got a handshake for his young starting pitcher. 4+ innings here for him, responsible for the runner at second. He can win it. He can't lose it. It's Wes Coolball coming on to try and close things out for the Pirates. We're here in the 5th. He'll need to get 9 outs. Long way to go in this one. Back after a few words from our sponsors here on Flea Flicker Media.
See you in Gettysburg.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
So Coolball, the hero of the game on Sunday, is on the mound here for Cashtown, and we mentioned on Sunday that was his first pitching appearance of the day. That was our fault. He clearly had 3 appearances, 4 innings pitched during the regular season this year, faced Shippensburg once. He's on here for his 2nd appearance of the postseason, facing Clint Roach, who's been in a groove here today. Roach, no hits to show for it, though. A line out to shortstop with the bases loaded, and then a sacrifice fly to left field. He does have an RBI for his troubles. 1 ball and no strikes from Coolball as Roach is going to pop this one high and deep. Shackle sprinting in after it. Shortstop, it comes back on him a little bit, and that's the new shortstop there for Cashtown, hauling that one in. It's Coons over to short. The designated hitter is now off for the Pirates as Travis Black will come in at second base. And Coolball, the pitcher's spot, will go into the order here now. Coolball faced 3 batters on Sunday. Got them all out with the tying run in the batter's box. Struck the last guy, Ian Eberle, out to end the Frederick Flying Dogs season and punch Cashtown's ticket to this game and this series. Coming in, throwing the cheddar, and he backs the line ball off. 1 ball and no strikes to line ball. Designated hitter for Littlestown is looking for his first hit on the day. He's 0 for 2, as so many of the Littlestown batters are. A number of walks for the Dodgers in this ball game, but that one spanked foul. That one should be all right.
Help! Help!
I think that one's all right. That yard's not quite that long. Although I don't know who the alley belongs to. 1 ball, 1 strike from Coolball, the Gettysburg High School closer this year. Swing and a miss as he took something off that one. There's that famed slider. And the count 1-2. Coolball talking about how he came in and threw a ton of sliders in that appearance to get Frederick off of the heater. They had been hitting heaters throughout that game. Now to Cook from the game in the 7th inning, but Coolball there to pick up the pieces. The pitch. Looked like another slider. Probably was in the zone about 85% of the way to the plate, but dips out at the last moment, and that's the point. You want to get him to swing at it. Line ball. Crouches down and watches it all the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Wirtz at second. Coolball, the pitch, swing and a miss. Threw him another slider, and he swings over the top of that one. And this, I think, might be the first time for Littlestown to see Coolball this year. I mentioned he had 3 appearances on the regular season. Had 1 2-inning appearance. Saw one of them was against Shippensburg. Did not see who the other 2 regular season appearances were against. But now it's Cromer. He's wrapped into a double play. Excuse me, that was not a double play. He's wrapped into a 1-4-3 groundout and hit a double. His double in the bottom of the fourth inning, kind of a tragic situation for Littlestown, though. They got him on to lead off the inning and then couldn't score him. 2 down now as he looks to be the RBI hero. Blooper to right. That's trouble, but it's going to hang up there, and Aiden Julich on the run without his hat comes up with it. At the end of 5, it's Cashtown holding on to the lead. 4-2, they'll grab the lumber for the 6th. Here on the South Penn Playoffs on Flea Flicker Media.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
I'm Dougie Sims, and you're watching Flea Flicker Media.
Back here for the 6th inning. Littlestown's hopes here to stay in this ballgame rest on the right arm of Justin Gladhill for another frame as he stands in there with the heart of the Cashtown order due up 4-5-6. Chris Shackle stands in there. Shackle doubled his last time up, driving in the 2 runs that are the margin of difference right now for the Pirates. Gladhill with the glove over the head. The pitch. Wow, there's a sword. That's the sword of the day right there as Gladhill gets Shackle to look a little silly. He went a little too far on that one. Well, we know how the Biglerville Black Sox feel. They're, at least whoever runs their Facebook page, their vote is with Justin Gladhill for South Penn League Pitcher of the Year. And like I said, you can't go wrong with any of these top candidates. It's him, it's Derek Huff for New Oxford, it's swing and a miss there for Shackle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. They'll throw it around the horn, and I don't believe the voting has been done yet, so I'm not sure. I feel like teams probably would incorporate some of the postseason stuff into those Player of the Year awards and the votes and stuff like that. I don't. I submit mine at the end of the regular season. I don't have an official vote, but I submit my picks at the end of the regular season, just unofficially. That one misses down low to Cool Ball. Now the pitcher for Cashtown. Flied to right and singled his last time up. His hit had Cashtown looking like they were going to put on a few more and maybe blow things open in the 3rd inning, but a ground ball double play hit into by Zach Coons got Gladhill out of the inning, and he's been rolling since then. Here's the kick, the throw, breaking ball. He says, you're going to throw my guys sliders all game. Fine, I'm going to throw you a breaking ball and see how you like it. That one catches the zone for a strike. Up and in, that one called a strike, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes as Gladhill pepper in the zone here. Not much a hitter's going to be able to do with that one. Jake Saylor putting down the signs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to 3rd. Roach has been busy in this one. Throw across the diamond. Wirtz with the catch. And 2 away here now. If you take out that 3rd inning, Gladhill's given up just 1 hit. He's given up just 1 base runner aside from that 3rd inning. And he's hoping they're not looking back on that 3rd inning from a hell when this day is over. Zach Coons looking to get things started for the Pirates with 2 outs. Fastball right down the middle at the belt buckle, no balls and 1 strike. Coons has grounded to both members of the Dodgers middle infield in this one. Grounded to second baseman Brandon Nail in the 2nd inning, and then came up in the 3rd and ended that frame by grounding to Copenhagen, and the Dodgers turned a smooth double play. Wow. I feel like he's going with more off-speed stuff and breaking stuff this 3rd time through the orders. These guys just look like they're not sure what to do with these pitches. It seemed like a lot of fastballs early on in the game, and now getting some swings and misses here. Not the biggest strikeout pitcher, but generates a lot of weak contact. This one lashed up the middle. Copenhagen boxes it. Throws onto first. It bounces. It was an optical illusion on the screen here. Looking at it from your living room, it probably looked like that one was in Wirtz's glove before Coons got there, but it bounced and then went up into Wirtz's glove, and we were a little bit screened here on that play. We'll see how officially they score that one. I know Copenhagen will tell you as a shortstop he should make that play, but I think there's room for that to be a single. That ball was hit pretty hard. Ethan Ketterman, 2 flyouts, 1 to each corner of the outfield in this game. This one not a flyout, but it's also not fair. And that one's going to roll up along the... Well, I thought that was a ticket booth, but apparently it's a bathroom section over there. Rather fancy bathroom. That's when I was at Gettysburg High School, we didn't have that. In fact, we couldn't host district playoff football games that we earned at home because we didn't have a bathroom. Ketterman fouls this one off behind the plate, and today's Gettysburg High School class will never know that pain. A lot of these Cashtown guys, baseball players for that school. A few Littlestown guys mixed in. Dodgers have Littlestown guys. A lot of Francis Scott Key guys coming up. Calvin Benevento, Justin Keith bringing up some of those guys here. Ketterman with 2 strikes as he's fouled the first 2 off. No, he did not go on that one. They're going to say as much in the field here. The body went, and a lesser umpire may have called that a strike, but the bat held back, and that's what you've got to do. You're looking to go the opposite way, and so many young hitters don't seem to know that or go with that approach. But it saved Ketterman there. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. Coons on first. Here's the pitch. Down low, a dart inside. Ketterman stepping away from that one, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 6th. Littlestown will send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate. Here's a pickoff throw back to first, and Coons in standing. Nail, Ben Stevens, and Trent Copenhagen will bat, and what that means then is that the 2, 3, 4 spot in the order for Littlestown at least will bat 1 more time, and for the Dodgers that's a good thing because those are the very dangerous hitters in this order right there, the guys they want up in the big spot. Ketterman hits this one, got under it quite a bit. It might fall in there. Keith sliding. Hayes got it. Out number 3 here in the 6th inning, and a round of applause from the pro Littlestown crowd here down the first base line. Through 5.5, the Dodgers holding their heads up as they're still in this one. They once trailed 4-0. They're now down 2. We'll head to commercial here on Flea Flicker Media.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, 1 live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Bottom of the sixth, it's Brandon Nail lashing this one on the ground. Travis Black awaiting on it. Oh, he bobbles it. Oh, he can't come up with it. And that'll be a leadoff base runner here for the Littlestown Dodgers, what will surely be called an error here. No score coming from Hagerstown yet, as neither Hagerstown nor Mason Dixon have updated that game on Game Changer. And, you know, I know that happens with the Rebels, but Hagerstown was always one of the best at keeping that stuff updated for years, so a little surprised with them here. Number 9 spot in the order, Ben Stevens. He represents the tying run. He'll look to get himself on base here. Squaring, pops it up. That's going to go foul. So they get a base runner against Cool Ball. And not really much of his own doing there. He got the weak contact to second base. Nail hustled it out all the way. And the Dodgers have a leadoff base runner. Pickoff, throw to first. Nail diving back into the bag. After Stevens, the lineup will turn over back to the leadoff spot, and Trent Copenhaver, who's walked a pair of times today, pickoff throw back to the bag again. Dodgers have loaded the bases in 3 separate innings in this one. Ketterman is in at third. Oh, that hit him in the elbow, and Cool Ball putting a couple of runners on here without the benefit of a hit. As the bottom of the Dodger order are the table setters here, just like they needed to be. And if Littlestown wants to end this playoff hold that the Dodgers have had over them for the last couple of years, that's a good way to start it. Not sure what in the world is going on out on Newark Street behind us. Somebody peeling out, and an unholy sound coming from beyond the fence here. Goodness gracious. Surprised the tires are even working after that. Copenhaver squares the bunt, pushes this one to third. Ketterman's got to get on his horse. That one's going to die in the grass, and the Dodgers have the bases loaded again, and with nobody out here in the 6th inning. Littlestown now with the meat and potatoes of their order coming up. And surely they'll strike for at least one with nobody out. They're hoping to get at least 2. And if they get a third, they can probably send Justin Keith on, or they can send Gladhill back out there to try and get the final 3 outs. Keith, the batter of consequence here right now. 0 for 1. He's walked twice. He's only been retired once in 3 games this postseason. There's a ball from Cool Ball, and he's motioning like, where was it? He didn't like that call. Definitely a hitter's zone here today, and as a former hitter myself, I do prefer that because I'm not imaginative. I can't guess how far off the plate a ball needs to be a strike, because that one fouled off of Keith, and he's down in a heap at home plate, because that one got him low in the leg. And now the home plate umpire going to head out to the mound. The catcher, J.C. Collins, out to have a word with Cool Ball. And Keith will collect himself here as he went down. Straight to his knees on that one. Talks things over with Jake Saylor for a minute. He looks like he's good to go back to the box. And Collins heading back to the plate with the home plate umpire. So the 1-1 pitch about to take place here. Cashtown spotted the first 4 in the 3rd inning. It was Littlestown striking back with 2 of their own. And now the Dodgers threatening not just a tie, but to maybe surge ahead here in the 6th. Cool Ball doesn't necessarily need a Houdini here if you're Cashtown. Pirates are in at the corners. They are halfway in the middle. So they're not necessarily conceding that runner at third, as that one misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Interesting strategy here, because you definitely think with the 2-run lead, you want to get just an out somewhere. If that runner at third scores and makes it 4-3, you still figure that you're ahead. Here's the kick, the pitch. Breaking ball down low, 3-1 to Keith. Believe he's had a 3-walk game in this postseason already. He's walked 6 times in 10 plate appearances. Got to be a good-looking one here for him to swing at it. Nail the lead from third. It's Stevens from second and Copenhaver from first. A dart on the inside corner. Cool ball comes through with one when he needs it. It's 3-2. So glad you tuned in here with us on Flea Flicker Media for all the high-flying action of this South Penn rivalry playing out in the semifinals. We've been waiting and hoping for this matchup all year. These two teams basically running 2-3 in the league all year. Here's the kick to throw. Misses inside. That'll force a run home as Keith drives in nail. 4 wayward ones on 6 pitches, and the Dodgers climb a run closer. It's now 4-3. And time going to be called as Justin Keith is going to come out of the game for a pinch runner. I wonder if that has something to do with him fouling a ball off himself here, as Engel is going to go in and run it first. Jacob Engel. And now we're going to have a stoppage as Eric Ketterman heads out to the mound once again here.
This guy can hit a long way.
Got a number of options here for Cashtown to bring someone into the game. It looks like Austin Kunkel is getting ready, and they've used and abused him over the years, bringing him back on a short rest plenty of times, so this would be nothing new for him coming back on just 1 day rest after throwing 5 innings. He doesn't seem to mind an innings eater for this Cashtown team, but for now it's cool ball, as Kunkel just getting up. Throwing some darts over there in the Cashtown bullpen. As Calvin Benevento, the Dodgers third base coach, looks on and Eric Ketterman heads back to the dugout. You feel like the Dodgers at home in this one really need to get this game at number 1. Just for their own mental psyches, as they've struggled against Cashtown. They did sweep the season series last year against Cashtown, but that was mostly early on in the year against a Cashtown team that was figuring out their identity. Eric Ketterman and Cashtown have used the regular season as a chalkboard of sorts to do that the last couple of years, but come postseason time, they've been there. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Saylor. Jake Saylor hit it hard twice. Single in the first inning, walked the second time up, and lined out to third baseman Ethan Ketterman with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Here's the kick in the toss. Saylor drives this one back up the middle. That's at least going to tie the game. It kicks away from Chase King for a moment. 2 are in. Littlestown with the lead. It's Jake Saylor. Now with 10 RBI on the postseason in just 3 games, and the Dodgers jump in front for the first time here today. It's 5 unanswered for the Dodgers, and they're set up for a few more. Still nobody out here for the Dodgers. 2 on, 3 in. As 5 men have batted in the inning, and Sam Wirtz looking to do some serious damage here for the Dodgers. Good thing for Cashtown that King got a glove on that one. That could have been a complete disaster if he completely missed it. Cool ball with the pitch. That one misses down low. So the blown save for Cool ball, and his defense hurting him a little bit here in the 6th, and him hitting a batter didn't help either, as look at that awkward contact point by Wirtz way out in front. He was so far out in front he fouled that ball actually the other way. Usually when you go the other way it's because you're late. That time he was so far out in front that the bat was just almost past the ball. Here's the kick, the toss, misses up high. So Saylor coming through with the big 2 RBI hit. And Littlestown leads 5-4. Again, we mentioned that Cashtown won the season series with these two teams 2-1. There goes Saylor for second. Collins with no throw. Sliding headfirst is Saylor, and I hope he doesn't jam a finger or something like that on a play where it ultimately ended up that he didn't need to slide. 2 in scoring position, and Littlestown looks for a real big crooked number here. Wirtz sends this one skyward. Infield was playing in, so racing back a little bit there is the shortstop Coons, who started the game at second base. He's got it for out number 1. So Clint Roach, the batter now. Runner at third with less than 2 outs. Still looking to get something done here. Looks like Cashtown, they were playing back in the middle, but they're coming up as the pitch is thrown just to get some momentum to throw towards the plate. Something you'll see the Pirates do. As that one misses down low. Cool Ball trying to navigate this situation and give his team a chance in the top of the 7th. We'll see who the Dodgers use on the mound. As that one called a strike to Roach, 1 ball and 1 strike. Roach 0 for 2 does have an RBI sac fly on the day. Another one of those here would be appreciated by his teammates. The kick, the toss from Cool Ball. Strike at the knees, 1 and 2 the count, and Roach has to go for a walk. As I think about that Limp Bizkit song break stuff, I think that's what's going through his mind right now. 1 and 2 now the count. Roach would love to join the hit parade here. Oh, flirting with the left field line. Fires that one over third base as it was a slider again. It stayed up a little bit and Roach almost dunked that one in there. 1 out. Littlestown with 3 in. 2 on. It's Engel over at third. Sailor the runner at second. Cool Ball's pitch kicks away, and Engel with a hesitation and stays put. Better safe than sorry, especially with less than 2 outs. As they say, he who hesitates is lost. I had a third base coach who in practice one time physically pushed me and guided me towards home plate because I refused to go home on balls to the backstop. I wasn't confident that I was going to make it, so that's the best thing you can do there. The last thing as a team you want to do is run into outs on the bases. The only type of out that's acceptable on the bases is a send with 2 outs of a runner at home. Roach called strike 3, 2 down as Cool Ball punching back here now, and Kunkel looks like he's ready to go, and Ketterman going to make his second mound visit here of the 6th inning. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I think he might have just been calling for some defensive alignment here as he'll head back to the dugout now, and Cool Ball on the hill. I think Cashtown would prefer to not use Kunkel if they could because he's a candidate to start game number 2. Cool Ball's kick and pitch. There's strike 1 to line ball. Twice a punch-out victim. Cool Ball got him on strikeouts or on sliders back in the 5th inning with a strikeout. New activity in the Littlestown bullpen, so we'll see if it's Gus Gladhill as his own closer. Swing and a miss, another slider. Well, things turning around here for the Dodgers in the 6th. Cashtown trying to cling to life here. Cool Ball, the kick and the throw. Blows them away. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. But it's the Littlestown Dodgers streaking to the lead. It's Jake Sailor's 2-run single, putting the Dodgers in front. They hope it's for good here in the South Penn quarterfinals. We'll be back with more action live on Flea Flicker Media as Sailor and the Dodgers look to close this one out and get a 1-0 lead in the series.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Littlestown needs 3 outs. It's indeed Justin Gladhill trying to be his own closer here today. He'll face Robert Rohrbal to start things off. Then it'll be the number 9 spot in the Cashtown order. Then back to the top with Travis Black. Gladhill delivers strike 1 to Rohrbal. That one skips up there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rohrbal hit a home run this season against Goodrich from Frederick on June 27th. As we said, 4 years removed from the batting title. The 1-1 pitch coming from Gladhill as these two longtime South Penn League gladiators do battle here. Strike number 2 to Rohrbal, and these fans in the Littlestown crowd can sense it a little bit. The players can sense it as they're getting excited. Here's the kick and the throw. Rohrbal drives this one to left field, and not so fast, my friend, as Robert Rohrbal opens the Cashtown top of the 7th and says, hey, we're not done yet. And J.C. Collins, the hitter, as he's an absolutely fantastic bat handler, and bunt is in play, and he's also excels at hitting runs and just putting the ball in play in general. They're going to leave Rohrbal in there to run at first. And Collins now to the dish. And Collins is like a second leadoff guy here, really, for Cashtown, as he bats in the number 9 spot in the order. The kick from Gladhill. Collins squaring to bunt. Gladhill must be tough to bunt. And what's the call here? What's the call here? Eric. Eric Ketterman not happy with the call here. We're not sure what the call is, but Collins is being removed from the batter's box, so it's going to be out number 1 here for Cashtown. Did that ball get caught on the flyers? I'm not sure what happened here.
Stepped on the plate, didn't he?
Well, he might have. Then maybe that's it. Maybe he stepped on the plate while contacting the ball. He squared to bunt, and you hunch forward to bunt, so that's a very real possibility. The umpire going deep into the rulebook to pull one out that you don't see every day, and Cashtown manager Eric Ketterman doesn't like it. The Cashtown bench doesn't like it, but they'll have to live with it. And 1 out now is Travis Black. Looks to atone for a miscue he had last inning. Is this one driven to center? 2 down. As into the gap is Stevens to catch it, and 2 away. Gladhill 1 out away from securing a 1-0 lead in this series for Littlestown. I think, in the sake of competitiveness, the best thing for a long, lengthy series here always was Littlestown taking the first game, because you feel if Cashtown took this first one, all that mental hang-ups of Cashtown winning the last 3 postseason encounters could have crept in for Littlestown. But if they get game number 1 here, that's a big deal for them. Also, have to head to Cashtown for game number 2, and we'll likely have that for you on Thursday at 6 p.m. from Cashtown Yards. 1 ball and no strikes to Aiden Julich, who fouls this one off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cashtown's number 2 hitter. Julich 1 for 3. Ground out to short, a ground out to third, and a single in this ball game as Gladhill has gutted this one out. Gave up 4 in the 3rd inning and nothing otherwise. Just 2 base hits aside from that 3rd inning. That's 5 2/3 scoreless to this point. This one popped foul down the right field line. That one's going into the batting cage. And 2 strikes now as Gladhill 1 pitch away from what he hopes is a closing pitch. He has 2 saves on the year, 7-0. He's gotten some sort of decision in every single game he's pitched, including the postseason quarterfinal opener against Brushtown. That was his 8th win combined on the season. As Gladhill, the pitch to Julich. Almost went around, but checks the swing, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rohrbal, the runner at first. He represents the tying run. Julich with the bat in his hands. Hit .228 on the regular season. Love to get it to Chase King, who has a couple of singles already today and 2 RBI. Gladhill to the belt. The kick, the toss. Ball 3 in the dirt, and he's run it full. That'll give Rohrbal a head start from first base. As we're going to zoom out here to get a look at this runner at first base getting the head start. Gladhill will focus on the batter here. Nothing you can do about that runner over there. Well, he's going to try to do something. He'll step off. Here comes the pitch. There goes Rohrbal. Ball 4 outside, and Julich keeps the game alive. Another batter will come to the plate for Cashtown. Gladhill certainly putting himself in position to complete the whole ball game based on pitch count, just because he was so pitch efficient early on in the game. As we're going to have a runner here, it's Austin Kunkel coming in for Rohrbal. Rohrbal will finish the day 1 for 3. That single in his last at bat, and I wondered if they were going to do that. They usually run for Rohrbal, but they waited until they get him into scoring position here to run for him. Kunkel now representing the tying run. Julich the go-ahead run. And it'll be interesting to see, should Cashtown force a bottom of the 7th, who will pitch it for the Pirates? Kunkel's certainly available. They'd love to win this game. If they can go up 1-0 in the series, they can probably shift Holt to game number 2 on Thursday and then save Kunkel for the weekend. But if they lose this game here, Kunkel certainly would probably, I don't know, it could be either one. It could be Holt or Kunkel. Kunkel would be on short rest on Thursday, so I'd have to guess it would be Holt. Chase King to the plate. 2 singles and a fly out to right. Strike 1. Not many better hitters in the South Penn League to have up in this situation, and it's the number 3 hitter in the order. Traditionally, for many years, in the old school way of thinking, you put your best hitter at number 3. And these two South Penn Leagues, the South Penn League teams certainly have a guy who could qualify. Swing and a miss from King as he's tied up and in on that one. Coming up looking to throw is Saylor. And down to their last strike once again are the Cashtown Pirates. King looking to just flip something to the outfield here. A soft one that gets over the infield would probably score Kunkel to tie it. Gladhill says no. Let's send it right here. Here's the kick. The toss. Ball in the dirt. It misses, and that's going to move both runners up. Kunkel to third. And the go-ahead run now 180 feet away is Julich in at second base. And boy, if you watching this game here, if you fans watching this game here aren't going to pit in your stomach watching this, man. I'm getting a pit in my stomach watching this, and I don't have a vested rooting interest either way. Just enjoying what's been a great baseball game. Somebody's going to be a hero here shortly. Gladhill, the pitch, swing and a miss. It's Justin Gladhill delivering the victory. The Littlestown Dodgers take it 5-4. The Littlestown crowd gets to their feet and celebrates as their hometown team takes game number 1. And have they finally broken this postseason trance against Cashtown? It sure seems like it might be the case. They win and take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 series. They'll have to head to Cashtown on Thursday, but they'll do so feeling a lot better about things because they're up 1-0 in the series. We'll go through the handshake line here. Just over 2 hours on the show. As Littlestown victorious, Justin Gladhill the win. He moves to 2-0 on the postseason. Wes Coolball the loss. He falls to 0-1. No save necessary in this one as Gladhill was his own closer. We'll be back on the other side of this break. We'll have the player of the game and we'll recap this one for you on Flea Flicker Media. Dodgers take it 5-4. They lead at 1-0 in the best-of-5 semifinal series with Cashtown. Back on Flea Flicker Media in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe. Is that
you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military Museum Incorporated. We display the 200 years of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
I'm Dougie Sims, and you're watching Flea Flicker Media.
All right, we're back here on Flea Flicker Media. We're with Jake Saylor, who got the game-winning hit, and Justin Gladhill, the ace for the Dodgers here, who pitched 7 strong innings for the victory. I'll ask you, Jake, you came to the plate there down 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. What were you thinking coming up to the plate at that time?
I mean, bases loaded, we had no outs. I was just thinking, get a fly ball, tie the game. Luckily, I was able to get my pitch, hit a hard ball up the middle, and get 2 runs out of it.
Mm-hmm. One heck of a run you're on this postseason. You have 10 runs batted in 3 games here now in the playoffs. You're absolutely locked in. What is going on right now?
I mean, just staying simple, and I mean, my guys are making it easy getting on base. Less than 2 outs, not very hard, but they can do that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of bases loaded situations for you guys. A couple early on where you didn't come through as a team, and it looked like maybe it was going to be one of those nights. How nerve-wracking is that to have so many bases loaded situations as a team?
Yeah, it gets a little frustrating, but we know if we keep the pressure on, we'll get a few across. And Gus was pitching well enough to keep it close, and all we had to do was get 5.
Justin, you had the 3rd inning from hell there, and then we're just able to recover 6 pretty dominant innings. Other than that, what was going on? What was your plan out there today?
Really didn't change the game plan too much. We mixed one more pitch in later, but I just know with these guys playing defense that just they have to be putting the ball in play. I mean, you're not going to strike a lot of these guys out. So I knew they'd eventually make plays for me and get runs and scoring all year. So.
Just what happened in that 3rd inning? What happened out there?
Honestly, I was thinking about it in the dugout. I think the hit by pitch to JC, I mean, it hit the nicest guy in the league, and it kind of got in my head a little bit. But you give them free bases, they're going to take advantage. It's been that way for years.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I almost said that on the broadcast. Maybe it was something like that, but I wasn't sure. So, but other than that, I mean, you were locked in. You were locked in today. Going out there for the 7th inning, I mean, was that a situation where you always knew you were going to be the one to go out there for the 7th inning if you got the lead?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't coming out. I mean, the adrenaline keeps me going. It doesn't feel like I really pitched at all anymore or yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, 1-0 series lead. You guys go to Cashtown on Thursday. Are you going to be playing in the field on Thursday?
I hope not.
Well, I don't know. You played.
I better not be in the playoffs.
Well, you played against Brushtown. You played in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gotta get more than 9 guys.
So, Jake, what's the key going to Cashtown? That's been. I mean, you guys have won already once there this year, but it's a tough place for any team to win. What's the key going in there?
Just don't let the moment get big. Stay simple. Don't try to do too much, and pass the baton to the next guy.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys. You guys go celebrate. Have a good rest of your night, and then we'll see you again on Thursday.
Thank you.
Here at Flea Flicker, we so very obvious sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community. Sporting event at a time.
The middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home.
contact me or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Hello, this is Battlefield Military. We display the 200 of history through military artifacts. We start with the Revolutionary War and end with Vietnam. We specialize with American Civil War and World War II. We have a shop where you may purchase relics and military artifacts. We are open every day during the summer months and weekends during the spring and fall. See you in Gettysburg.
I'm Dougie Sims, and you're watching Flea Flicker Media.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back here at the ballpark in Littlestown Memorial Field as they're taking the bases off and getting ready to shut the lights off here. What a classic game we had in game number one, and this time it's a Littlestown coming out on top. How's that for a plot twist when these two teams meet? I believe this is the second time ever that I've covered a Littlestown victory over Cashtown. They've both been this year, as Littlestown takes a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. All right, so for Cashtown, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. For Littlestown, 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. And 1 beeping car alarm. Wouldn't be a complete game without that. The win goes to Gladhill. He's 2-0 on the postseason. The loss to Coolball, he is 0-1. The players of the game, we saw it was Jake Saylor with the winning hit and Justin Gladhill, the winning pitcher, for gutting it out. Cashtown got 4 in the third inning. They took a 4-0 lead. And talked to Gladhill after the game, and hopefully you were able to hear some of that interview if we weren't glitching out too much, but he said that maybe just hitting Collins the way that he did, he said he hit the nicest guy in the league, and that might have shaken him a little bit. So he hit Collins with 1 out, J.C. Collins, then a walk to Travis Black. A single by Aiden Julich loaded the bases. Chase King followed by ripping a 2-run single to left field, and Chris Shackle tested the left field line with a 2-run double to make it 4-0 Cashtown. And then a huge job by Gladhill. He gave up a single to Coolball, but then got a 6-4-3 double play by Zach Coons. Copenhaver to Nail to Wirtz to get out of the inning down just 4-0. Didn't seem like it was going to be a big deal at the time, but then Littlestown struck for 2 in the bottom of the third. Littlestown's first run, it was Copenhaver scoring on a wild pitch to make it 4-1. Justin Keith made his first out of the postseason. Jake Saylor walked, Sam Wirtz singled, and then Clint Roach hit a sacrifice fly to Chris Shackle in left field to make it 4-2. Strikeout of Wade line ball by Colby Hahn got the Pirates out of the inning, still up 4-2. Then flash forward to the bottom of the 6th, the decisive rally. Brandon Nail reached on an error to start things off. Ben Stevens, the number 9 hitter, was plunked by a pitch as each team's number 9 hitter got hit once today, and it kicked off a big rally. Trent Copenhaver with a single that loaded them up. Then Brandon Nail came home to score on a wild pitch to make it 4-3. Justin Keith walked to reload the bases, and Jake Saylor ripped a 2-run single to center that was knocked down on the bounce by Chase King, but still allowed 2 to score. And then in the true spirit of this game today, Littlestown got runners at second and third with 1 out and left them both. and left it as a one-run game going into the top of the 7th. Not sure how many runners Littlestown left on all told today, but it was a lot. They ultimately come through with the 5-4 victory. It's Justin Gladhill going out in the 7th and retiring the Cashtown Pirates with a little drama. Runners got to 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs for the number 3 hitter, Chase King, one of the most clutch hitters in the South Penn League. And Gladhill blew him away with a strikeout, of all things, on a day when he said he wasn't going to strike a lot of guys out. I believe that might have been his only strikeout of the ball game as well. So the Dodgers take it 5-4. We've seen so many years of the Cashtown Pirates running roughshod over Littlestown in the postseason, but the Dodgers take the 1-0 lead here in this one. We'll likely have Game 2 for you on Thursday evening at 6 p.m. at Cashtown Community Fire Hall. No update yet from Hagerstown, as Mason Dixon and the Hagerstown Braves playing there, but haven't heard anything yet. So you'll want to check the Game Changer app out later on today and see if there's an update. It's come that time of the evening for us to leave you, so you can go watch your favorite Major League team or the York Revolution or whoever it is play, or do something completely unbaseball related if you want. So for my stat guys, my technical support, everyone who's helped me out along the way, this is George Marinos signing off. Have a good evening, everybody.